Hashem's Vasai Timtach Ufi Agitil Asecha. We're now in the 12th parak of Hoshea. In this parak, at first, Ephraim is contrasted with Yehuda. Ephraim is surrounded with lies, while Yehuda still has a chance and is not, and is considered perhaps faithful. Ephraim is talked about that the Ro'eh Ruach, Barodif Kadim, that they're looking and they're trying to get for themselves things that are fleeting, things that are like wind, things that are not everlasting, and they do it in such a way that they steal, and they're through deceit, and not only that, then they make treaties with Ashur and Egypt. And so really what we're seeing is that what is it that make them corrupt? What makes them corrupt is, first of all, their actions, what they're doing. They're stealing, they're plundering, they're doing things that are illegal and against the Torah, but also in their hearts. Their hearts are not looking to Hashem to solve their problems, but rather for political alliances and things that, again, are fleeting. Those are the things that are in the wind. And Hashem has a problem with this. And he says, you can't do this. And here, Livkod al Yaakov b'drachav, to visit Yaakov according to his ways. So what is it? So right now we're compared to, the 10 Shvatim are compared to Yaakov. But actually in the positive, Hashem says, but betin akaves echav. So you might say, okay, so we're like Yaakov. What did Yaakov do? He fought with his brother. He did, he was tricked. He tricked, and so that's in our genetic makeup. We can also be tricked and deceitful. But rather Hashem says, no, don't you understand? What did Yaakov do? He took his superhuman power and he grabbed the ankle of his brother. The heel of his brother. And so what does that mean? That means that he went through the amniotic sac because he was a twin. He did something that was supernatural. Not only that, later on, what did he do? He fights with a malach. Again, they're not on the same playing field. A malach cannot be fighting with a man. But again, Yaakov, for the right reasons, in order to really l'shem shamayim, for the sake of Hashem, he goes and he fights with the malach. So that is what's in our genetic makeup. Vayashar el hamalach vayuchal. And what is a very beautiful idea is that why are we called Yisrael, right? We're called Yisrael because Yaakov ki sarita im Elokim b'Menashem v'atuchal, because Yaakov fought with the Malach and he won. But why aren't we called vayuchal, right? That we were successful. And the answer to that is that Hashem doesn't care. Success comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Success comes from Hashem. Success does not come from us. We have to put in effort. We are the people of effort. Effort is what counts to Hashem. And so that's why we're called Sarita. We struggle because the struggle is what defines us. And so Hashem says, I respect and you have that in your genetic makeup. Do that. Go in accordance with what Yaakov did, which is Vatuchal. He was successful in the effort that he put in. And then Hashem says, please do that. And remember, then my name will be remembered. And Hashem says, V'ata belokacha tashuv, return to me, Hashem says. Chesed u'mishpat shemor. Chesed and mishpat you should guard. You should guard? Why doesn't Hashem just say you should do? So the answer is because guarding is on a deeper level. It's anticipating and holding on to something. Just like with Yaakov, again, it says, V'aviv shamar hadavar, that he held on to it. He anticipated, or that's what Shmira Shabbos is that we anticipate all of the issues that might come up on Shabbos, and we give respect to Shabbos. And so there's an understanding that we have to be on guard. We have to look for opportunities to do mitzvos. We have to look for opportunities to do chesed and to follow in the way of Hashem. That's what Hashem really wants from us. And v'kabel Hashem elokacha tamid, always. Now, what did we do? Kna'an biyado. We learned from Kna'an. The king of Kna'an, on his deathbed, he told his people, fight and steal. And so that's what you're taking from this. You're learning the wrong messages. And again, we could say, yes, but it's in our genetic makeup. Look, Yaakov had issue with Esav. Yaakov had issue, his sons were, argued with each other. But Hashem's saying, no, that is not the part of, you're missing the point. That is not what it is. Vayomer Ephraim, ach ashriti matzati abon li. I became rich on my own. I found power for myself. It's all about me and what I've done because I am so powerful. And Hashem says, no, in Pasuk Yud, V'anochi Hashem Elokecha me'eretz Mitzrayim. I am Hashem, the one from Eretz Mitzrayim, the one who knew the difference between what was in people's hearts, good and bad, the one who skipped over the bad people, the good people, and killed out all the bad people in Makos Bachoros and in all of the Makos. I know, Hashem says, I know exactly who and what you are. You are, first of all, those riches did not come from you. So stop thinking that it's in your hands. Second is to do idols and to give credence to all of the avodah zarah, again, is just missing the point. And I know it's in your heart, so you need to improve. And so what did I give you? Hashem says in Pasuk Yud, V'dibarti al neviim. I gave you neviim, and those neviim, I said that ubiyad ha'navim adameh, and I gave them mashalim, allegories, and all different things, and maseh simlit that we've had to be able to help you people. Now, why? Why is it on that level that he gave to the Nevi'im? Because only Moshe had direct correspondence with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He was always ready for it. He had it panim panim diberbo. He didn't have an intermediary. But everyone else, all the other Nevi'im, they got Nevuah from Hashem, and then they were able to give it to the people. And so here we have an understanding that Hashem is saying, I gave you Nevi'im, and through them you were supposed to hold steady and follow in my ways, but you didn't. Instead, you said Gilad Aven Va'alshav Begilgal. There was violence in Gilad, and in Gilgal they sacrificed to the avodah zarah. These were places that were places that could have been kadosh because they had religious significance, but they were switched because, again, instead of following in the right way, you followed in the Baal and you did everything that was wrong. And we have an understanding that that these were places that HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to really do a lot of punishment to the people because they held steady with their avodah zarah. And Vayibarach Yaakov Sidei Aram, and Yaakov ran to Aram, and what did he do? Vayavod Yisrael bi'isha o bi'isha shamar. Twice he had to work for women, and twice he had to stay true to the course and work hard and not give up on the prize and think about what he was going to do. That again, Hashem says, and this is the Haftorah, the Ashkenazim say for Parshas Vayetze. But again, look what you have. Look at your yichus. Look, someone who really was dedicated to the cause in the right way. And Hashem says, I give literally, like this is what you should be following. You should be following the Yaakov that did so much good, and that which Hashem then repaid him in good. And what is it? Ubenaviha Allah Hashem et Yisrael Mitzrayim. I brought you out of Mitzrayim, Ubeni Nishmar, and I guarded you and I took care of you. And what did you do? Yechis Ephraim Tamurim. Instead, you didn't listen, and bitterness. And from that reason, Hashem says, because of all of what you did, the Charpa Yashiv Lo Adonab. And so now it's not going to be good for you. And so what we have an understanding is we're kind of going down memory lane in this parak. And to who? We're going back to our genetics, and that is to Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu, who even from in utero, believed in Hashem and did everything he could l'shem shamayim, and then continued and gave up thought and showed effort and showed determination to the point where that's who we're named after. That's our namesake. And Hashem in kind did everything to build us up, to give us the Nevi'im, to make sure that we had everything that we needed, because Hashem says that's what, that was on my part. But what did you do? You did a few things consistently. You believed in other gods. You believed in your own hand, and you went about things in a very unjust and an immoral way, through stealing and plundering and all different methodologies. And you might point to Yaakov and say, well, he did it too. But in the end of the day, he did it l'shem shamayim. And so our job is really to take the good of this lesson and to understand that effort really matters. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants our effort. He sees what's in our hearts. He knows exactly what is and what isn't. And it's our job to shamor, to guard, to anticipate and envision what we can do to keep mitzvos and to do chesed and mishpat. And in that way, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that you will reap all the benefits of being my Am HaNibchar, of being a holy nation, of being the true people, Yisrael, your namesake, which is where Hashem wants us to be.